103.5 FM, The Sun, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Hey, when I'm not on the radio, I'm working with folks just like you to help them buy and sell homes. I'm proud to say that my team, the Baker Realty Group, has been helping people buy and sell homes in the greater Sun Prairie area for over 10 years. Information about buying and selling a home is available on my website, thebakerrealtygroup.com, on Facebook by searching The Baker Realty Group, or by calling 608-575-6731. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with Bill Baker and Laura Stanfield. Brought to you by the Baker Realty Group.
Welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with your host, Bill Baker.
Wow, my headset was not working there. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Bill Baker, and glad to be here with you on a bright and sunny Wednesday afternoon, the last Wednesday of March. Going to be, it's going to be a fantastic Wednesday. We got warm temperatures coming up. We got some rain, some snow, some rain, some snow.
So what's fantastic about that? The snow
I
part?
Turn you on. Now talk.
I said, what's fantastic about that?
Let's get into the springtime.
But snow's not spring. I don't want to hear about snow.
Well, I know, but we have to have one more because that's the way.
No, we don't. We already had it last weekend.
Oh, that was
good enough.
Crazy snow. Too.
Yeah, it was. It was heavy, wet and heavy.
Hey, we created this show just for you. It's all about the providing you with information about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. It's not a sales show, and we're here to help you make that process a little bit easier as I hand Laura all the stuff that I have heard. And so we're glad to do it. It's the 7th year of doing it, and pretty excited about that. A lot of shows. My gosh, it was 7 years, and if we did 50 shows, that's pretty good. What, 350 shows?
Wow, it's a lot.
I know, it's amazing. We've been doing this a long time. Get a lot of comments from people when we're out and about, and just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. We're always glad that you're a part of the show, and it means the world to Laura and I will tell you that. It means the world, because somebody's got to listen to us. Somebody's got to listen to us. We just feel like poor babies if we don't, you know.
Well, it's like we've said, like it's recorded, right? So
Yeah.
people watch it not necessarily live.
Right.
Some do,
They
but
do.
later.
Sometimes they do, I tell you.
The education is out there.
It is.
If you want to take advantage of it.
That's true.
All up to you.
So here's the question of the day. We're going to talk about this. Will the current inventory shortage that's out there, is it going to stymie the spring market? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Got a lot of information to give you. I'm going to show you the difference between national numbers and local numbers and why it's so important that you listen to this show, or because you are listening to this show, you are benefiting greatly from that. You're listening to 103.5 WLSP, the Sun, home of Station of the Year. Very proud of that, as designated by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, the Baker Realty Group, and of course, don't forget, Wintrust Mortgage.
Don't forget.
Wintrust Mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
The show would not be what it is if we didn't have that other voice that you always hear, sitting in the corner. Yes, they do put baby in the corner. In the studio,
belong
anyway.
in the corner, ever.
I can't even talk now. Laura Stanfield from Wintrust Mortgage.
Good morning.
Hey there. What is going on with rates? We saw an increase after we left studio last Wednesday, and did anything happen because of that?
Well,
Did we see anything violent happen, I guess?
Violent?
Violent.
I don't know if I'd say violent. After our show last week, is that when the Fed increased it by a quarter? Okay.
Quarter.
So, and I still get it, and I understand people don't necessarily understand what plays into first mortgage rates. So when people hear, and I keep hearing it over and over again, kind of like I have to have 20% down to buy a house.
Mhm.
Nope. At some point we'll get the message out, no you don't. But when the Fed says they're going to increase rates or decrease rates, it does not have a direct impact on first mortgage rates. It's about how it impacts the bond market, basically. And what we've learned is that the Fed chairman's comments are hugely impactful.
Isn't that interesting?
It's kind of like E.F. Hutton from years ago,
When E.F.
right?
Hutton speaks, everybody listens.
That was the commercial, and people do listen to him. The market completely reacts to his words.
Wow.
So if he's still talking about inflation,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a long time before we actually get to that number that they think we have to be at, 2% I think is the number.
Yeah, 2% or it's 6.
Yeah. So that's what's going to do it.
You know, the thing about that is, and I mean, all through school and all that. I mean, you when you're studying business, you're working through different
Econ.
classes with econ from
Yeah.
micro, macro, theory of the firm. You're doing different costs and all that stuff. Also, I don't know if I agree with him getting back to 2%. Now, I'm not an economist. I don't play one on TV, but 2 is really. Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's 3.
Right. Maybe it
Maybe
is.
it's 4.
Why are we stuck on 2? Why is that the number?
Because that's basic economic principle.
Okay, but why?
Because everybody's been doing it that way all their life.
So that's always been a good plan.
Well, yeah.
If we've always done it that way, it's got to be right. Don't change anything.
Yeah.
Don't adjust. Don't grow. Don't look at things in a new light. Don't do that.
It's like the daughter that gets married and she's making this kind of meatloaf thing or whatever, and what she does before she cuts off the ends before she puts it in a pan, and then she bakes it. And,
Because that's the way it's always been
It's
done.
the way it's always done.
Yeah.
And instead of getting a bigger pan, they just had to cut off the ends. But that's a bad joke. I
We
can't
need to
remember.
think outside the box a bit. Expand
Or
our
the pan.
brains. Be curious.
Right.
Think of a question mark in your mind,
Sure.
right? At all times.
Right.
Because what can that hurt?
And part of me, I'm not in the grassy knoll. But something's really, I don't agree with it. I mean,
I know.
the way that they've decided to hurt real estate being a driving force, those increases have like stopped the market.
Yeah.
But prices haven't. We might see a little bit of fluctuation in the prices. But
Price range. It's about price range at that point, I think.
Well, we'll see. We're going to see. I mean, they're talking about the increase in inventories nationally. Ours is not.
Mm-mm.
And so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But because we have a whole hour to fill, that's why.
We do.
We
But
do.
so bottom line is, if we're still hearing about inflation being a problem,
Yeah.
and at this point the gauge is the 2%. So for as long as we're going to be over 2%, and that is going to be a long time if that's our number, if that's our gauge,
Right.
that's not good.
No.
Because we can't get rates down, and that's a big key. Is it the only answer? No, we have to have more inventory on the market. We have to. But rates tie into it because the sellers, the potential sellers who have 3%, let's just say, and then rates are 6 or 7%, it's really hard to let go of that. And I get it. I totally
Sure.
understand that.
Right.
If we can get rates back into the 5s, I do think that would make a big difference, and people might be more willing to sell and get into a new mortgage at 5% versus 6 or 7%. It's a big difference. So they are crippling, I think, the housing market, and I don't know how they don't understand this.
And here's the thing: is that if we didn't have that low inventory, OMG, I think we'd be in a 2008 situation, 2009 situation.
Yeah.
Having 30
Yes.
houses, having 60 houses on the market. I think I said in the last show, back in that time frame, my inventory that I carried in listings was 45 houses. And we're juggling 40.
Wow.
We have one of those long, expandable, or lateral file cabinets. And what we did, Brenda Corey set this up, is we created binders for every property. And you'd have a top row full of binders.
Wow.
And you pull that binder out when you close, and you take everything out, restock it, and then put it down below on the second shelf. But Yeah, today, I mean, the inventory is low. We've got, there are 23 homes right now that are actively listed on the internet. Really, nine homes are available. The rest are new construction, which is killing me, Laura. It's killing me.
It's killing me, Smalls.
Well, never has this ever happened, where the new construction outnumbers, and when I say new construction, folks, I'm talking about properties that do not exist. They're in the process of being built, and so they don't exist. They're not there yet. They're ghost listings, but they're giving you a false sense that houses are available, and they're not.
Well, they're adding to the inventory numbers, but yeah, take out those, and we've got like nothing to work with.
Sure.
Really.
Sure. Check this out.
So I'm thinking about realtors, the number of realtors that are out there, right?
Right.
And if you don't have listings right now, you're not making money. You're not.
Well, yeah. I agree. I mean,
buyers are having a really hard time getting accepted offers. So if you're a buyer's agent, ouch.
Oh, I know. I mean, things are busy, and I think almost as busy as 2021, but
busy closing deals?
No, activity-wise.
Yeah.
Everything's busy out there, but it's not as effective, I guess.
It's not fruitful.
Right. I mean, what we're going to see here, let's just dive into this right now. So just talking about March and how we're doing with March is that we're trending down about 40% in sales.
Whew, that's big.
Compared to March of last year.
2022.
Now, I think that we're going to probably see about 31, maybe 32, 33 total sales for the month. But we're going to find out. I mean,
in the city of Sun Prairie.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And so it's interesting right now. That's what I gave you a list over there. There's 2 pages, and I want to show this to you because of the homes that have sold so far, they are. I gotta stop saying by the way. Somebody told me that. You say that a lot. I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
Somebody who listens on the radio?
Yeah.
Oh.
You say that a lot. Okay.
Well, a lot of people do. Okay, so calm down, but thanks for the feedback.
14 of the 21 existing homes that were sold, 14 of the 21 were existing homes that were sold, and of that, the average price was $328,278, median price being $322,500. They averaged 3 beds, 2 baths, about 0.24 acres, 1,982 square feet on average.
That sounds like a Viridian home.
It really does. Well, actually, it's too cheap for a Viridian home.
Right. The median price is surprisingly low, honestly.
It is. But if you look at 50% of the existing inventory, 50% of them had competing offers.
50?
Here we go again, right? 50% had competing offers, and they averaged $7,500 over the asking price, or about $185 a square foot. Now, with that said, what's interesting about this is that there are several in here that are, oh my gosh, they're going to be, they're 30,000 over, 20,000 over, 22,000. And these homes are 1960, 93, 99 is when they were built. So it's kind of interesting, I think.
1940. Ooh.
I know, right?
Wow. Days on market 6.
Right.
Why was Broadway on the market for 40 days?
Well, that's the question. And I can't give you that answer.
That's really unusual. There must have been something going on with it, condition-wise, is what I'm thinking.
They could have had it in delay status.
That counts in the days on market?
I believe it does.
It should.
Have to go back and I'll check into that.
Because that's really misleading.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? But look at these. I mean, $381,000. I like this one on Stonecrest Court, 906 Stonecrest Court. $455,000 is the sale price, It was 20,000 over asking. Their assessed value was 290,000.
Okay, so what's going to happen to their taxes?
Well, it can't chase it. You can't chase the sale price, so it has to follow the correct algorithm. So it won't be at that price for quite a while.
We did have a tax assessor, the city tax
assessor
on. So again, there's a show you can go back and listen to.
Right, exactly. So 7 of the 21 being new construction, 0 competing offers, and actually one of them sold at $10,000 less. But what they're averaging is $251 a square foot in sold prices. I know. Now, of those competing offers, check this out. Here we go. Listen to this. Of those competing offers in the existing, where am I? I've lost my place. Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Of those in the competing offers, existing houses, 13,000 over asking, or $195 for square footage. Stick with that square footage, folks. You got to stick with it because it's a good number to really monitor what the difference is on this. Of the non-competing offers, or accepted offer, strike that. Of the non-competing solds that were there, they averaged 1,800 over the asking price.
Makes sense.
$176 a square foot. So it's an interesting market. It's just really interesting. Is it going to be crazy out there? Well, Janice Bender, Charlie Andrews, I don't know. Donna Bemis, I got to say something to you, Miss Donna Bemis. I know you listen to our show. Laura and I want to say a huge thank you for the cakes that you brought us.
Yummy, yes, thank you.
They
That
were
was very sweet
delicious,
of you. Yes.
very thoughtful. I know you're one of our biggest fans, and just wanted to say thank you for all that. And,
Yeah.
coming in here every day, as you know, Donna, as one of the producers here for the Media Center, is so delightful. And we're volunteers. We don't get paid. But to have one of our fans bring us cakes, they were yummy.
It's just, little things that make you feel appreciated.
Yeah.
They matter so much.
It does.
So, yes, thank you, Donna.
So let's talk about this. Will the inventory shortage stymie the spring market? What are you thinking about? What do you think?
Do you mean actual closed sales?
Yeah. Well, is it going to affect it? Is it going to affect the overall busyness of it, or is it going to affect I know it's going to affect our industry because we're already seeing agents get out of the market. We're already seeing mortgage bankers, they're leaving the market.
It's hard out there. It's
they're getting
really
jobs.
hard.
They're getting JOBs.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you that, but I ran into a realtor at Woodman's Sunday, and I didn't know her. She knew me, though. I knew her face, but I didn't know her name. She had a First Weber jacket on, and she's like, "Hey, how are you?" So, of course, the market comes up, and she's like, "Yeah, I just took on my 3rd job."
Oh, my gosh.
Because it's hard.
It
It's
is.
really hard out there. But, so, a lot of us love what we do,
Right.
but, man, I don't think people understand, we are commission. So if we don't close, if houses don't close, we don't get paid.
We don't get paid.
Yeah.
We don't eat.
So it's hard.
What's interesting is that back in the day, I used to put on my headset. I had a boom headset, plugged it into the phone, and started making my calls. Well, I found my headset because I hadn't used it in a while, and but then I found out I can't connect it to my Samsung because it's got the port. I need the flat thing to go in. So
Flat thing.
Yeah, the flat thing to go in.
The doohickey?
That goes into the Gibitson.
The who's what's it?
No,
Thing
then it makes the whatchamacallit work.
Whatchamacallit? Candy
So,
bar.
but I want that headset back because I'm making more calls today than I've ever made. I've made in the last year.
Well, it's the way I've always looked at it. It's still hard, but it's not a bad thing in the sense that there's always takeaways. There's always good things that come out of whatever's happening. So those that stay in it are the ones that are dedicated to this industry, to what they do, to hopefully helping people, genuinely helping people, but also becoming better at what we do and how we do it and rethinking that question mark thing again. Okay, now's the time for me to rethink how I do what I do and improve on that. So it's not a bad thing, but we still have to make money.
Charlie Andrews asked a question offhand. Do you know the absorption rate for 400K or less? And I'll tell you, probably 1 month. One. It's probably like 1.4 something.
Yeah.
And Charlie, the reason that I haven't been talking about absorption rates is because they've been a month or less, which is a super strong seller market. And we can talk about that for a second. Because we've been talking about a little bit already is that it's a seller's market still. So if you're selling, the prize that you're going to get, that golden ring that you're going to get, is the equity that you have in your house, and you're going to be able to move that over into the new house. Which, 10 years ago we didn't have that. Maybe 12 years ago we didn't have that. People didn't have the equity. Today you do, and that's why riding that higher interest rate. And I can't believe we're talking about higher interest rates. Or everybody says high interest rates. I'm like, oh my gosh, get over the interest rates.
I know. I was writing that, journaling, and I kind of was like, don't say that. Don't say high or higher, because it's really not.
Right.
But it's kind of like the word busy. It's all perception. It's all like, what does that mean? Busy is a different thing depending on, but rates, it's just because we came out of the 2 and 3% range. So of course we're going to look at it as high.
Sure.
Historically speaking, it's not high at all. It's right in the mid-range. It's actually on the low end still. Right. But for people from a few years ago, that wasn't that long ago, it's high.
So here's the thing to know. What's really good about the prices and where they are currently is that they've been there for so long. I mean, they're creeping up. They're still climbing. They drop down, they go back up. And you'll hear from the national news that sales were down, or the sale prices were down. And you gotta, even if it's Dane County, if it's Channel 3, Channel 15 or whatever, you gotta be careful. You gotta break the numbers down locally, because Sun Prairie is completely different than the nationals. Completely different than the nationals.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting depending on if it's like numbers from the federal housing.
Right.
Because one will take the cash transactions out.
Right.
The other one does not.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It's dumb. I don't get it. But so if you look at one number, sales or prices, home prices are down.
Okay.
If you look at the other one, taking out the cash transactions, they're up. So you really do have to know where your numbers and your data are coming from and what's in there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just listen to us, you've got it all made. I mean, it's not a problem.
Well, there you go. What else do you need?
Well, you're going to get the straight on it. I mean, or as they say back in the day, you're going to get the skinny.
The skinny.
We're going to tell you what it's all about. I'm telling you.
The skinny from Beanie.
Yeah, that's true. But so right now, Charlie, I mean, that with that absorption, if you're a seller, what that means is that you've got negotiating power, and you're going to get a strong price out of that. Doesn't mean that you don't get your house ready, you don't get it staged, you don't take, you do everything you're supposed to. Don't take a shortcut in there. And I know people that do that or have done that, and their value is lower because of it. When they don't do the things that are expected, the value will drop. So you still got to get everything set up. There's a lot of new realtors out there that have no idea what I just said. I'm going to be honest about it, because they came into a market where all you had to do is talk to somebody and they're selling a house.
I know. It's not like that over time.
It's
just not.
So
no sales position is.
Exactly.
So you have to decide, is this for you or is it not? And if it's not, it's okay.
Right.
Then you go find something else and leave the rest for us.
Yeah.
You got it.
Please. Please do that.
Yeah.
Joe Van Tassel, good morning. Glad that you're watching. Bring us a beer, would you, Joe?
Who's Joe?
From
Joe does beer?
Cannery Wine and Spirits.
Hi, Joe. Yeah, or wine. You can bring us wine. I'm good with that. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So let's go back here. Charlie, so I told you about the sellers and why it's advantageous for you right now. As a buyer, and why you need to know that, and why it's so important to the negotiating is that you need to be aware that you better come high and ready to make that deal. Come strong, in other words, is what the phrase that we use. So you're going to come in, you may have to be already qualified for a loan, waiting for an appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
And know that if there's a low inventory of homes, and if you know that 50% of the houses out there are having competing offers, then you got to be ready to and be prepared for that. Now, I get that the attitude once in a while from folks, Charlie, where they'll say, "Well, I'm not competing for a house. I'm not going to overpay," and I just go, "Then you're not buying a house."
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I'm not being mean. I'm just being realistic.
Well, yeah, people need to understand. And so here's the thing, like, you have to understand that the person, I guess if you don't trust your real estate professional or mortgage professional, that's a problem in and of itself.
Then change.
Exactly.
Then change.
But, or is it you? Is it you
Right.
that has unrealistic expectations
Yeah.
and you're just not allowing your mind to understand and absorb?
Right.
People who are in it every day and know these numbers and know how to guide you. You're probably not going to get a deal. That's just not a thing right now.
Sure.
You're not. So you have to plan on asking price or over.
Right.
But really, you need your realtor to run numbers for
Sure.
you. Is this a fair price or not? Based
Exactly.
on, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, you and I have been through it. We've had mutual clients, and I've gone through it, and I'll say, here's where you can go. I wouldn't go any higher. I said, it's your choice whether you do that. I'm advising you where to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked out. I mean, I don't want to see somebody overpay for a property and have to deal with it. Tina Rowe, good morning. Glad to see you. There's somebody from my high school days.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All the way from Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excited. But
Is the market really much different in Michigan? This is a nationwide issue, the inventory shortage. Rates are nationwide.
it's everywhere.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Because people do ask that too. Like,
It's
is it
everywhere.
just here? Is it? No, it's everywhere.
Well, I'll give an example to our sister city, Austin, Texas. Their inventory levels have come up.
Oh, why?
They've come up. More houses are coming on the market. But right now,
wonder why then.
our market is down 28. Oh no, that's the trend. I didn't bring. Did I bring it? Did I bring it? We're down like 30%. Our listing inventory compared to February to February is down like 30%.
Wow.
I know, 33%.
Well, there's just so many things that are playing into this. We talk all the time about interest rates, so yeah, that's part of it. That's
Sure.
not it though. And then, but so why is there such a lack of inventory? Is it just the rates?
Because we're Midwesterners, and we have that Midwestern conservative mindset. And I'm not talking politically, folks. I'm talking about the way
Let's
we
not go there. Yeah.
No, the way we are very conservative in Wisconsin, except for the island surrounded by reality. But
Okie dokie.
but Midwestern people have a tendency to be more reserved
Yeah.
and not as aggressive or not as risk-taking as the rest of as of California or New York, Florida, something like that. But the National Association of Realtors states that inventory in February nationwide, inventory in February nationwide was up 67.8% compared to the same period of 2022.
Come on.
Yep.
That sounds ridiculous.
I know, but Sun Prairie's inventory for February over February 2022 was down 33%.
Okay, so that would take a lot more digging, but I'm wondering if in
Done.
some areas construction is up.
Well, the thing about I love how you just kind of lead into this. So the U.S., here's the other thing, the U.S. has failed for many years to build enough housing to keep up with the demand. New house construction has been accelerating in years, including during the pandemic, but dipped again last year as the economic situation soared, meaning the U.S. hasn't built its way out of a housing shortage, and they will. Valerie Alt, another Michigander, welcome to the show.
Michigander?
Michigander.
Is that the?
Yep.
Okay. Another thing going through my mind though, like it all ties in. So the aging population
Sure.
is staying in their homes longer.
Okay.
Right.
That include me.
I'm not going there. So the aging population.
Did you say Asian or aging?
Aging.
Okay.
A-G-I-N-G.
Okay, just check.
A-G-I-N-G, yes. So, because normally, well, years past anyway, they would age out and go into assisted living, and so their house is on the market, allowing first-time buyer, right? Or,
Right.
move up situations, but that's not happening. One, because people are living longer, they're healthier, they're able to stay in their homes longer, but even if they're not, going into assisted living is not a viable option right now. The cost and the availability of assisted living, so they're forced to stay in their homes longer, right? And
5,000 to 7,000 a month.
yeah. So we have all kinds of issues that are playing into this. It's such a big issue.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not, there's not just one answer. So it is interesting.
It's challenging.
It just is.
It's
Let's be
challenging.
honest. It's very
It really is.
challenging. Yeah.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And we're
it is.
in a boomer situation, right? Where there's like a bigger segment of the population than ever is aging. And what do we do to help them? What do we do?
You know, I think that our spring market, I think we're going to be slower than past spring markets,
Mhm.
and maybe busier, but I doubt it.
Busy meaning what?
That's what.
Are we going to be sitting at the closing table?
No, activity-wise. But and
Then
sometimes
that's not busy to me.
Well, and it may not affect the sale number too much. We'll see what happens. I mean, I feel it's off right now. I can just feel it.
If we can get around this inflation number and what that percentage really should be and start talking about a reasonable number, and Powell, like,
I
would
know.
you contain your comments, please,
Right.
about what you're saying about inflation? So, because the market reacts so heavily to it, and rates won't come down until that shifts, that perspective understanding shifts.
Well, one of the things I wrote down here. Good morning, Sabrina. Sabrina Fryers.
Hey, Sabrina.
Good to see you, kiddo. One of the comments that I wanted to make was that the inflation, high rates, the fear of high rates, of a recession, the affordability challenges to a point where it may not be what we think it is in the past. We may have the weirdest spring we've ever had. But then again, I go back to 2021, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was COVID, and we were working our butts off.
Yeah, but that's because of interest rates.
Yeah,
They were so low.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at least you said yeah, yeah instead of or or whatever people don't like. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be an interesting market. We'll see what happens, but I just don't see a whole lot changing because we don't have an inventory solution,
Uh-huh.
and we don't have a solution for the older population that would normally be selling their homes.
Right.
And the only thing that we can hope for, and everything that I follow is saying that we will see rates come down. The problem right now is that the numbers aren't catching up with each other that tie into inflation and Powell's goofy comments.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Charlie, if you're still on, did that answer your question? I hope so. I hope it did.
He'll let us know.
So I just want to go back over this one more time because I want you to catch this. If you're selling a house, you just can't just go sell it. You can, you're just not going to get the full bang for your buck. You've got to do everything that is required during a slow market, because people are going to walk in and go, okay, they're going to look at it and decide right then, am I buying it or am I not buying it?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next comment in their brain is going, am I okay with this price? What should my price be? So even putting paint on a wall, cleaning it up, having a deep cleaning,
Yeah.
staging it, decluttering, photographs. I still do my photographs. I like the delayed status that's out there because it teases people. A delayed status means that it cannot be shown. It's on the multiple listing,
It's coming.
but it's coming. It's a coming soon, and that's how they blocked us from doing coming
Creating
soons.
excitement.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, it's coming.
Exactly.
It's to me though, it's positive. It's a little hope, because at least we know that there's more coming on the market.
It's like golf.
How? I don't know. I don't play golf.
They put the flag in a hole just to give us hope.
Is that what they do? Okay, I didn't know that.
Except for Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams. But so yeah, like from a seller's point of view, if you're of that mindset, oh, I hear it's a seller's market, I don't have to do anything.
Right.
Just leave my house the way it is. No, not
Sure.
necessarily. You have to think about what's going on in the buyer's mind.
Yeah.
So if it's a move-up buyer, they've already got a mortgage and a house.
Right.
Odds are
Right.
they're at 3%, let's say.
Sure.
They're not super motivated.
No.
They don't have to buy your house.
No.
And first-time home buyers, I think, have resigned themselves to, all right, fine, I'll sign another year's lease. However, that's a whole nother problem too,
Sure.
because, and that, post about the spam calls that are going around
Oh, yeah.
sparked an interesting conversation, I think, about big banks coming in and buying up properties, or foreign entities
Sure.
coming in and buying up properties, and they can do whatever they want with rents
And we haven't seen that here. Yet.
in the Midwest.
In Sun
Yet it's on the coast,
Right, but it's not here.
it comes inward.
Right.
So government, hello, we need to stop this. We need to understand what's going on, right? And stop it.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so much. But I keep hearing people say my rent just got increased by $200 a month, $300 a month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can they afford it? I don't know, but do they have to buy your house? A lot of buyers have just decided, I'm either done, I'm out, it's too hard.
And that's crazy.
I know, because your rent keeps going up.
Exactly. So, I mean, even, what are we trending here now? I mean, so for one of the first months, February right now is trending down in price by like 3%. But for the quarter, we're trending at like 1.9, which would be 2%. Well, 2% of 300,000 is $6,000. That's the value that you just earned. So don't fret the whole thing about your prices. You've got an opportunity to make some money. Get out there and buy a house.
But do it right. If you're a
Right.
seller, do it right, please.
Buy the house, marry the house, date the rate.
Oh my, yeah.
We keep
yeah.
saying that, but it's a good thing to do.
Well, it is true. It's absolutely true. Can I share my story?
Of course.
And it might be helpful. I don't know. So
Is it
one,
something personal?
no.
Is
I
it
mean,
rated G or?
definitely
Can't
rated
say the
G.
7 words.
What? I don't even know what those 7 words are, so I think we're
Should I
safe.
tell you?
No, because I don't think you can. I think
can't.
you'll be in
I cannot.
trouble.
I'll be in trouble with
Jeff
Colin.
is in the next room, so
No, he's
careful.
on a cruise ship.
Oh, you're right, he is. He could still be listening, though. Anyway, so when we bought our house, it was in the seller's market. And I tell people this story all the time because I understand it's exhausting. This is a whole different market right now. I get it. It's not the same thing it was 20 years ago. But it was a seller's market, and I got exhausted because it was offer after offer, got it, turned down, or you got into a bidding war, or whatever the deal is.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there were several homes that I was in love with and I thought I had to have, and it just didn't work out. Our offer didn't get accepted. Then there was one, and in hindsight, I'm like, what was I thinking? That was not the house why was I so enamored with this house? But we were in a bidding war, and it got to a point where I was like, I know what you paid for it. I know what's going on in the market.
Right.
I'm not paying that. I'm done. I'm out. I gotta stop. So took a break because I just was exhausted and frustrated. So
Sure.
I get it. But don't ever take yourself out of the market, for one. Don't, because
Right.
the right one will come along.
Sure.
You don't want to miss it. Just
Right.
keep watching. You have
Right.
nothing to lose. Just keep watching. So yeah, that's one story. The other thing is, when we did the mortgage, I did a 7-year balloon. You don't really hear about balloons much anymore. You hear about ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages.
Right.
But I did that for a reason. The rate was a little bit lower. I could put 10% down at the time and not have any mortgage insurance. It just made good sense, and it was 7 years.
Cool.
So it was going to be the first time house out in a few years.
Right.
Still here 20 years later.
You're one of those.
But I love it. I know I'm part of
Oh,
the
yes, you
problem.
do
I
love
get
your
it.
house.
I know. I love my house. I love my neighbors. I love the whole thing. I don't ever want to change anything. I feel very blessed to live where I live.
Your neighbors don't feel the same way, but
They do, actually.
Ah!
They do. Especially considering we went and plowed out a
Mike's
neighbor's.
house? Did
Yeah.
you do Mike?
Yes. Cleaned off his car. Anyway.
Oh, you cleaned
So-
up his car too?
Well, yeah.
Why
they're-
was it in the garage?
They're good people. Because the wife and the daughter come first for
Oh.
Mr. Butler. He's a
Oh.
quality human being.
He's awesome.
I love him. I just love him. So anyway, good deeds, right? But
Right.
anyway, my point is, 7-year balloon.
Sure.
Market shifted, because it does.
It does.
Rates take
It
cycles.
will, yeah.
Inventory takes cycles. It's
Yep.
okay. And then refinanced for a lower rate.
Okay.
Fixed, long-term fixed.
There you go.
And then at some point when things were better and it made sense, went down to a 15-year.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not, you don't have to look at rates right now as forever. It is
No.
a temporary situation. It truly is, because there are cycles. Look it up.
Get
Look at
them
the
now
history.
before they're 15.
Oh, God. Can you imagine?
No.
People don't want to buy at 6 or 7. If it was 15, we're done.
But our parents did.
They did, but think about where house prices were. I know incomes
I
were
know,
lower,
but
cost of living, I
We're
get
not
it.
talking about
But
price, we're talking about interest rates. Don't get hung up on the price.
I know, but think about the
They were at
monthly
18
payment
and
difference.
8 points.
I know. Oh, I know. Yeah. My mother
Yeah.
sold real estate. I saw this.
I know.
And she got into real estate then. What a gutsy chick, right?
Well, I came in during 2006.
Gutsy dude.
I had no idea. I had no
You didn't
reason-
know what was coming in 2 years.
You did not.
Whoo!
And man, I cleaned up.
You did fine.
We did good.
Yeah.
We did good.
Mhm.
Hey, I caught something you said. You said I looked to see what they paid for the house when you were making your offer. Why is that important to you?
In my mind, it already felt like it was getting ridiculous. So I needed to see, like, what is the appreciation rate and what am I going to be paying? Am I grossly overpaying? How long is it going to, like, but this is a mortgage lender's mind. Not everybody thinks this way. I thought that way. And I was like, no, I just cut it off. Like, no, this is getting ridiculous. If somebody else wants to pay that much, it's fine. But I loved the laundry chute. And I loved the built-ins, and it was cute. But in hindsight, it was not the right property. It happened for a reason.
So let me say this to you about the price that the previous owner paid.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It has no calculation into the current value.
Mattered to me.
What if it was $1?
Well, that's different.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
you
it
can't
is.
change the rules in the middle of this
That's
conversation.
different. Because that was
No.
probably a family
I
situation,
don't
like
you
I'll
have
sell
no
it to you
idea.
for $1.
$1. I've always said I'd like to list a house for $1.
Yeah, I know. I've heard you say
And,
this. If
Dan
you-
Dislin would not allow me to do that.
But
It was-
could you? Like, ethically,
Sure,
could you?
absolutely.
There's nothing preventing
Nothing.
you from listing it for $1 or 50
Nope.
cents, whatever.
The keys to listing it for $1, what you have to do is you have to take ready, willing, and able out of the equation.
Okay.
So it's all about the commission on that side, on that part of it. From the brokerage side, we're not talking anything consumer. You can do it for consumer. It'll drive consumers nuts. But at the same time, the brokerage side, commission is earned with a ready, willing, and able buyer.
Uh-huh.
So if the buyer says, yes, I'll buy it, I'll pay $1, and I can close in 7 days. I can close in 3 days. They're really,
What seller would agree to that anyway?
well, some of them do. Some of them do.
That's a leap of faith.
So what I'm saying is don't get hung up on what the previous owner paid for the property because you don't know what's going on. Oh, here you go. I mean, how about the foreclosure era? Elaine, the condo that I just sold over on Crown Point, I want to say she paid like $95,000 or something like that. Some ridiculous.
But how long ago?
Well, back in when the market crashed, so about 9-10 years ago.
That's a different scenario too. Houses were going for a lot less back
But
then because they had to.
But again, you can't. So what I'm telling everybody out there listening, do not use the value of what somebody paid for the property. It's what it's worth today. It's what it's worth.
I know
today.
what you're saying. I just psychologically was done
Oh, I know.
anyway. And
they
it
made
wasn't.
$200,000 on this house. I'm not going to be the one giving them $200,000.
For me, it was more about just overpaying even in the market that we were
Okay.
in. It was too much.
That's an interesting comment too. Overpaying in the market that we're currently in.
Hmm.
How do you know? What did it close for?
It's a personal decision. I don't even know, to be honest.
The-
I think I didn't care. I took myself out of it because I was just
Sure.
done.
So the market value is whatever is paid for that property.
Yep.
And that's why we, as a realtor, if you have somebody come in, they're sitting down to help you sell your house, and they're going to give you the price, that's not going to happen. They're the wrong agent.
My
Now,
neighbor sold for blah, 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 so I want
Right.
that much.
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't
exactly.
work like that.
So it's the market that dictates the price. It's not the realtor, and it's not you as the seller. It's the market that dictates the price. Now the market, now flip that over to buyers, well, you now have to chase the market.
Hmm.
And again, you need somebody that's on your side that can help guide you in making that offer.
Mhm.
And we were telling people last year, yes, you'll probably be 20 to 30,000 over the asking. Which, as you and I had a conversation about, why didn't they price it that high to begin with?
Well, pricing strategies are a real thing.
Sure.
What do? Do you price it a little on the low side and create a frenzy? We've talked about this.
Right.
Do you price it right at what the comps show? Do you go a little above? What do you do?
Well, if
As a seller, you better ask how your agent does it.
Well, comps only play one part in it. That's the history.
Mhm.
We know what's happened last month.
Current listings can play into it too.
Well, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And so you're going to see where the market is today. A lot of realtors use like last month, February's stats. I want to look at February's, I want to look at current day,
Mhm.
and then I want to see what's the competition that's on the market,
Yeah.
the actives.
Yes.
That's who your competition is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be priced where I am priced competitively with a house that's similar.
You have to keep up with trends. It's not just about historical data.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I spent 2 hours this morning pulling all this stuff at 5:30 in the morning. I know. And so for most people,
I was sleeping.
Sabrina's rolling her eyes right now.
So am I. I'm with you, Sabrina. Not getting up at 5:30 to run numbers
Why not?
because
I love numbers.
I have dreams to, enjoy.
I did find, this is a different subject, but right now in Wisconsin, I want to say that, or in Sun Prairie, over 50%, 51% of the households in Sun Prairie have cable.
What?
I got a stat this morning from the Wisconsin Community Media Center, that I'm a member of because of the Media Center here,
Mhm.
showing 51% of the households use cable. Most of it, and the majority use Charter and Spectrum.
Only 51%?
Yeah, 59 is the highest I saw in the state.
Isn't that strange?
It is. What's strange is that the majority is Spectrum.
Not
and not
TDS?
TDS. Yeah.
I thought so many people were irritated with Spectrum.
Everybody's there to TDS or Spectrum.
It just depends on who you have in the moment, right? Grass is greener.
Yeah. Jeff Robbins used to tease me because before Terry and I didn't use cable. I streamed everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all my TV. I
Interesting.
just used the internet.
Well, obviously, almost
Right.
half do that.
Right, exactly. Well, or have
Oh.
no TV.
Whoa, they're probably better off.
See, for a community radio like this, or community TV, community stations,
Mhm.
they watch those trends to see if they're going up or going down. If it starts going down and down and down, then there's a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how this
So the
station.
trend is down,
Well, I don't know because I don't know what last year's was. I just got this year's.
51. Okay.
Right. Well, when I say this year's 2022, so
That surprises me.
I
It really
know.
does.
I know, right?
Hmm.
That's interesting. Sabrina, I don't use cable. We stream tube, so much cheaper. It's all about cheap.
Well, it's all about what you value. Where
Right.
do you want to? Where do you get your news? You got to be careful about that these
Sure.
days. What's your entertainment
Right.
preferences, and can you get them without cable? Then
Right.
good for you if you save money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
I got nothing else.
Well, so
Seen any signs in your neighborhood pop up? Yard signs? No.
Yeah.
I would know about it, but
You mean for the election?
no. Oh, the election. Yeah, don't forget to vote next.
Sorry.
Tuesday.
People selling their houses.
Yeah.
No, not in my neighborhood.
This is we can talk about the election for a minute. The election's going to be a little different because no one's competing against our alders or mayor. Nobody ran against incumbents this year, and Brent Iceburner is the only one running against or competing against something. That's running against Tom Ebel for judge. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Iceburner's got him.
Really?
I've got a feeling.
But then we lose him as an alder.
No.
You don't?
He can do both jobs.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, if he were getting out, I would step in.
We need somebody to run for mayor and for alder positions. What is going on?
I may run for mayor next time.
Ooh! And Terry says what?
Says okay.
What? Really?
Yeah. The reason I didn't run for alder this time is because my dad's situation. I'm down there every other month.
Yeah.
And so...
and it's a lot.
It is.
People are not necessarily nice.
No, they're
I mean, you find out who your people are,
Sure.
that's for sure. And you find out who your people are not.
Sure. And it's still the ugliest logo I've ever seen.
What?
The new logo for the city of Sun
Oh,
Prairie.
I saw that, yeah.
It looks like a Pac-Man
It looks
eating
goofy.
wah, 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 you know, or it looks like little spermies flowing into it. Look at it. You gotta look at it again.
I did look at
You
it.
gotta
I
look
didn't
at it
see
again.
sperm. That's you.
Well,
That's odd.
I didn't see that. I'm
What's
telling
wrong
you what it
with
looks
you?
like. Going in. It's like these things attacking this other sphere.
Pac-Man, maybe. I'll go with that. I don't know. I just didn't like it. First glance, I was like, oh God. And then kind of like the housing survey. Why are we paying outside?
$95,000.
Why are we doing that?
Florida designed that.
Why? We don't have any good people here that can do that.
Sabrina, go look it up. She says, I'll have to go look at this.
It's not
thing.
pretty, Sabrina. But so who had the idea? Like, use our students. They're so talented.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we could have said, look at what Sun Prairie students did.
I don't get
What
it.
is going on? Who makes these decisions?
The staff and city elders and stuff.
That nobody's opposing, nobody's running against. So,
Right.
so I'm just going to say something I've said before, and I'm sure people won't listen, but
Get out.
would you please be part of the solution? Stop commenting and being negative and complaining on social media threads. If it bugs you that much, do something.
Right.
If you don't want to run, find somebody who would be really good for our city. Ask them, support them, promote them, campaign for them. We
Yeah.
got to start making changes instead of just sitting around complaining all the time. It does no good.
Yeah. It's not that the people are bad, we just need to change.
Well, we're blowing tens of thousands of dollars that, to your point, could be spent on what?
Yeah,
A lot better things than that goofy logo.
sure. That $95,000 pays for another police officer.
Sun Prairie revolves around you?
There you go.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Wow.
I like the old one actually. The old one's kind of cool because
With the burst?
yeah.
I like that too.
You know why? Because to me, because it sits on top of the Sun Prairie name,
Yeah.
where the sun
The sun
always
shines
rises
over.
Sun Prairie.
I like that too. It makes sense.
I know.
I don't know. I don't get it. What can you do? It's a done deal, right? And we're $100,000 in the hole over something that it seems like most people don't even like and didn't agree with, and our feedback wasn't important.
They just didn't care. Well, that's not true. I'll tell you that Terry McElroy, Steve Stalker, Brent
Brent?
Iceburner,
Voted against it.
they voted against it because their constituents said, we don't care for this. It doesn't represent us.
hmm
And then
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about others
the others.
that didn't listen.
And what I was told by those others, well, you have to go watch the entire program. You have to see, you got to go watch it. I'm going to go watch it.
What program?
To the tourism group, the presentation on this thing. They gave a 250-page document on why this logo fits after a year of studying.
How many of them were pictures?
I don't know. I hope it's a lot because, but if it's like the housing study, I'll throw up all over it.
Yes, I do know. I don't think I saw Bill Connors, but he put that out there. But
Yeah,
I
but
don't
he
know
didn't
that he
respond.
came, which is odd.
I know.
So
I know.
that's curious, isn't it?
It is.
He always comments, and he likes to stir the pot. He just does. So
I'll say that I do like the color choices that are with it.
just not the spring.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're going to look at it again.
No, I'm not.
You better.
No, I'm not. I'll look at it again, but I'm not going to see what you see. I already looked at it. That never occurred to me. No. Anywho,
What am I going to do with you?
I don't know.
When you see it, you're going to go, really?
Nope.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Nope.
Is that a nope?
That's a nope. Yeah. Mm-mm.
So, folks, I can't even talk. I'm thinking about the logo.
I know. No, you're thinking about something else, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we have
Might involve
gotten
you.
off topic, haven't we?
Yeah, revolves around you. Yeah.
Well, somebody had mentioned You know, like, and I can't stand it when people do that, like the gun Prairie, or what's the other thing that has to do with guns, and somebody in that thread said revolves around Sun Prairie. Really? Like, we already hear gun Prairie. I'm hearing revolver. I'm hearing things I shouldn't be hearing. That's not a good
crazy
slogan.
No.
True.
It's not. But we have asked, I do know that David Virgil has been asked to suggest a reconsider. So what that means is that you have to take an alder that voted for it and ask them to present a reconsideration. Now,
Oh, I didn't know that was happening.
yeah, so they could do a vote again. At that time, if there's a tie, the mayor steps in, and the mayor loves this. He loves this thing. He thinks it's the greatest.
So it's not going anywhere.
I don't. Let's just do what we need to do as citizens of Sun Prairie, and talk about this, and yeah, it should be fine. You know, we've got about 3 minutes left here. I went to the ribbon cutting yesterday as one of the ambassadors for the Chamber of Commerce for Sun Prairie at Lennar Homes, who were guests on our show, and we had a wonderful time. Jeff Cool was there, and Jacqueline Cunningham was there, Karen Gold was there, all representatives of Lennar. But here's what I liked about Lennar, and what hit me is that they're Chicago-based. They've done over 1 million homes, 26 states. I think those are the people that could come to Sun Prairie and build an affordable home.
Well, they already are planning on it, aren't they?
No.
They already, yeah.
No, they're building. They've got 30 lots that they're doing. Now their price point's going to be $500,000-600,000 out there.
But she said,
Karen did?
yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah,
She did?
yeah, she did.
Okay. All right. If you say it, it must be true.
I wouldn't go that far, but I know we had that discussion about it, and I know she said that yes, they had already been considering. I don't know if it was 300 or 350, what it was, not anything lower than that. That's just probably not feasible right now. But
well, we need homes, and I guess
we need homes.
They have the people to do it. But hey, Sun Prairie, thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of the show. More importantly, thanks for your advice. We really appreciate you tuning in on Facebook or right here on the station and listening to our show. But your ideas are what we bring into studio. And so when you see Laura and I, Buck and Honeys, Beans and Cream, wherever we are, stop us and tell us what you think. Let us know what you like about the show and what we could change to make it even better. Maybe it's my stupid jokes. I don't know.
I'm going to say keep being curious.
Stay in curiosity?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't think you know the answers. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but just ask.
Yeah, I agree. We're here for you. This is all about you. It was to educate and inform you as the public on what's going on in your backyard. And Sun Prairie, I'm going to tell you, we've got a strong economy, a strong city, a wonderful position in the entire Midwest. We look damn good, I'll tell you. That's how wonderful we are. So
I love living here.
Me too.
Yeah.
So until next Wednesday, we'll catch you right back here on the radio. Bye, Sun Prairie. Have a great week.
Bye, Sun Prairie. And beyond.
And beyond. Because we revolve around you.
Oh. Nice. Well done.
Sometimes nothing keeps me together.
Yeah. Revolver around you.
I know. I know, right?
Funny, not funny. Really.
I know.
Yeah.